So let me get this straight. In the last 2 days, fires have broken out in the Palisades, Pasadena, Sunset, and now Studio City. 4 different places, miles apart. And according to ChatGPT, which I love so much, it is almost physically and scientifically impossible for 4 separate fires to break out that far apart in this way. Y'all, I do not want to sound like an alarmist or a conspiracy theorist or a contrarian, but this is starting to feel like ecoterrorism. And I know I'm not the only one who is starting to get a very funny feeling about this natural disaster.
Were you guys prepared enough for this? Did we have enough resources to fight these fires?
No, LA County and all 29 fire departments in our county are not prepared for this type of widespread disaster. There are not enough firefighters in LA County to address 4 separate fires of this magnitude. We were prepared. We did get state pre-position resources that came from Northern California that were up in the Santa Clarita Valley. We did hire additional firefighters from the LA County Fire Department and pre-position them in the Santa Monica Mountains. The LA County Fire Department was prepared for 1 or 2 major brush fires, but not 4, especially given these sustained winds and low humidities. Like our Director of Emergency Management said, this is not a normal red flag alert.
I'm going to choose my words carefully. But when the dust and the ashes cleared, if we later find out that this was not natural, that this was man-made, and that it's not a coincidence that Los Angeles County, one of the richest and most vocal anti-Trump liberal hubs in the country, was intentionally set on fire in 4 different locations less than 2 weeks before that thing that you guys elected gets sworn in at his quinceanera on the 20th. If we find out this was man-made, we all know exactly where to look.
Because no place is like California. I go to Austria. The head of Austria tells me, we have trees that are much more flammable than what you have in California. We never have forest fires because they maintain their forests. And you have all that water that could be used as water, what they call water flow, where where the land would be damp. And you'd stop many of these horrible fires that are costing billions and billions of dollars by the federal government, etc.
Now, do you guys for 1 second think that Donald Trump is psychic and just magically predicted what's currently happening 4 months ago? Do you think it's just, him being so insightful that a political talking point that he used to fearmonger Californians into voting for him suddenly ended up becoming a reality 10 days or so before his inauguration? Do you by any chance think that God said, let me help show the people that Trump was right? Like, come on.
We have some breaking news right now. Donald Trump just slammed California Governor Gavin Newsom and turned a tragedy into a political event. In a new post he just made to his Truth Social, Donald Trump writes, quote, Governor Gavin Newsom refused to sign the water restoration declaration put before him that would have allowed millions of gallons of water from excess rain and snow melts from the north to flow daily into many parts of California, including the areas that are currently burning in a virtually apocalyptic way. Now the ultimate price is being paid. I will demand that the incompetent governor allow beautiful, clean, fresh water to flow into California. He is the blame for this. Folks, this statement is abhorrent. Governor Gavin Newsom is not to blame for the wildfires breaking out. And if you recall, just months ago, Donald Trump threatened to withhold wildfire aid to California if he became president over political disagreements he has with Governor Newsom. Statements like these during a tragedy that's unfolding in California are not helpful.
And for any of you who are wondering why Trump seems so hyper fixated, not just on California, but on Gavin Newsom specifically, I don't know how else to say this. Gavin Newsom is low-key considered the white Barack Obama. He is attractive. He is charming. He's civically engaged. He knows how to get a crowd going. He is very charismatic in a way that Trump on his best day could not even conceive of. And he's also a white man. That is literally Trump's worst nightmare. And I don't think it's a coincidence that after murmurs started that Gavin Newsom would be a great person to run in the 2028 election, suddenly Trump became fixated on making the public hate him.
Biggest homes, some of the most valuable homes in the world are just destroyed. I don't even know. You talk about a tax base. If those people leave, you're going to lose half your tax base of California. This is a true tragedy, and it's a mistake of the governor, and you could say the administration.
I hate to even ask this question, but the president-elect chose to attack you, blame you for this.
One can't even respond to it. I mean, it's people are literally fleeing. People have lost their lives. Kids lost their schools. Families completely torn asunder. Churches burned down. This guy wanted to politicize it. I have a lot of thoughts, and I know what I want to say. I won't. I stood next to a president of the United States of America today, and I was proud to be with Joe Biden. And he had the backs of every single person in this community. He didn't play politics, didn't try to divide any of us.
Please Google the term eco-terrorism. I do not think this is Mother Nature. I think this is man being greedy and strategic and creating chaos. We'll see. Honestly, we're not going to see. I'm pretty clear at this point this is not natural.
Because what terrorists do is target the innocent deliberately. And therefore, my definition of terrorism is the systematic and deliberate attack, the murder, maiming, and menacing of innocents, of civilians, for political goals. I think that you can tell a lot about terrorists, but what happens when they come to power?